Sentencing for Mike Flynn being pushed back until March after a dramatic day in court. The federal judge saying he was disgusted with President Trump's former national security advisor for lying to the FBI and warned that he could be sent to prison. The judge also sparking a media firestorm after questioning whether Flynn committed treason before walking back his comments. The White House is reacting today and is standing by its criticism of the case and also blasting James Comey.
What we do know that was inappropriate by own self-admittance of James Comey is that the FBI broke standard protocol in the way that they came in and ambushed General Flynn, and in the way that they questioned him, and in the way that they encouraged him not to have White House counsel's office present. And we know that because James Comey told us that, and he said that the very reason that they did it was because the only reason that they did it, it was the Trump administration, and they thought they could get away with it.
All right, Dana, the judge making a lot of headlines today. Judge Emmett Sullivan has a very good reputation. But, you know, he said the treason thing, and then he walked it back. And then he said, well, you were working for a foreign government while you were working in the White House, talking about Turkey. And then he got the dates wrong, had to correct that. What did you think about today's events?
Well, I think it's good to remember that judges have this discretion and this power, and it's one of the reasons it's so important, like who you put on the bench, right? So President Trump's focus from day one as president has been to try to get as many judges confirmed as possible, and the Senate has been able to fulfill that. And so Emmett Sullivan is known as somebody who he gets a lot of cases through his court. He is not shy about getting press attention. But earlier this week, well, I guess it was Monday, he went from hero to zero in a week, right? Because he had asked, I want to know more about this situation. If you say you came here and you pled guilty, but you're saying now that the FBI agent tricked you, so I need to know more about that, and I want everybody to deliver their documents to me. So for a week, we spent having people think, oh, the judge is going to throw the whole case out because of this thing. The first thing he asked him today is, do you want to change your plea? No. Does the FBI do something bad? No. Okay, so fine. So I think in a way, in the court of public opinion, that works a little bit. Flynn's lawyers did an excellent job of getting him to where he is, where he was going to get no jail time. But again, with the judge, they have discretion. So sentencing guidelines are only that. They're guidelines. And the judge was basically indicating that he was possibly going to get jail time today. Flynn's team asked for a recess. They go back, and they're going to delay it now for 3 months.
Yeah, if you're looking at no jail time, I wouldn't flirt with anything that could lock me up even for a day. I would not do well in prison, Greg. Everybody knows that. And
as long as you don't flirt.
Only you would do worse than I would.
Oh, thank you very much. This was like, today was like when you're on the tarmac of a delayed flight and the guy comes on and says, now we're going back to the gate. It's like, oh, we're going back to the gate. A couple of thoughts. The judge seemed very disgusted with Flynn, but I think it's because Flynn didn't give the judge what he wanted, right? It was something about, they didn't get everything they needed. It was like the judge wanted a PlayStation for Christmas, but he got, a jumping rope. That's how I got from that. But I'm going to go back to the question that I asked that people hate. Is this news? It's a news hangover, right? This is the lingering headache and nausea from 2016 that won't go away. So the media, here and elsewhere, it feels really dramatic. It's really important, but it's not. It's not. This is just the only game in town right now because it's the holidays and because under Trump, the country's rolling along pretty well. Try to ignore the stock market because it's the end of the year. That tends to happen, but things are going along. We have declines in crime, terror. Optimism is high, so the media needs to focus on this thing, the Comey, the Flynn, the collusion. It's like a triangle of idiocy, right? By the way, I do believe he will get, if anything happens, he will get pardoned. And I think he deserves a pardon if you compare to previous pardons. Like, this is nothing compared to the people that Clinton pardoned. Clinton pardoned, like, how many people on the last day? Mark Ritz, well, 16 terrorists, 16 FALN terrorists he pardoned, people who tried to bomb our country or did bomb our country. So if you think that Flynn doesn't deserve a pardon, read your history.
Yeah, I mean, he is
or Wikipedia, which is what I did.
Decorated veteran. Yeah. I think I know what you were talking about when you said the judge was looking for something, because they had been sending up smoke signals, Jedediah, that, maybe he was going to pull his plea. Maybe he was going to come out and tell the judge, I was set up, I didn't really lie. And the judge was kind of asking, are you really going to go that far? And the minute the Mueller's team heard that that was a possibility, they just dangled that Turkey consulting thing, that he was unregistered as a foreign agent, and they're going to hit him hard if he doesn't do what they agreed to do.
This whole story becomes so confusing because you can't reconcile it on so many levels. I can't reconcile why he lied. As someone who is a incoming national security person, you would expect him to have some contact with Russian ambassadors. Why would he lie? Then you look at why you would be advised not to have lawyers present. If that's not shady, it certainly looks shady. Then you look at the fact that the agents knew essentially what he had said to the Russian ambassador. They already had the transcript. So what are you going there and interviewing him for? You already know. Are you looking to entrap him? Then you have the 302, which is the FBI document about the report, and it's filed 9 months later after the incident. So many things about the reason I think it's going to ultimately either get, there's going to be a pardon, or there's just so much nonsense here. One of the people interviewing him winds up being Peter Strzok, which is the guy who has, those text messages, those anti-Trump text messages to his lover. The whole thing is a disaster. I don't know how it's going to end, but you can certainly look at this, I think, and say Flynn shouldn't have lied. It was absurd that he did lie. He absolutely, it's pretty clear to me that he did, in fact, lie, and that is a problem. But also that this was some sort of bizarre setup to have him hopefully lie and appease certain people that were expecting him or wanting him to lie. It's really a mess.
It is a mess. Juan, clean it up for us.
Clean up what I just said.
No, I wanted to clean up Jesse's hair because if you go to jail
every day.
and I come to visit, I will bring the hair gel.
He could actually hide things in his hair now, Juan.
oh.
Yeah. I think you could hide like a file.
Yes,
I have the 302.
All right.
Seriously, you realize that you do need a haircut.
No, it looks good.
Thank you, Greg.
I think it looks better than Stephen Miller's hair.
Yeah. That's a low bar.
Okay, all right. So anyway, I thought the day started off with Donald Trump wishing Mike Flynn good luck. And I thought, that's peculiar. What's going on here? And then he says, look, I think there's no evidence that Strzok and Page, he says Strzok and Page may be deleted evidence. And then, of course, the reports that have come out say that's not true. So I'm thinking, what is going on here? What's going on here is that all of a sudden this has become highly politicized, what's going on with Mike Flynn in a court of law. And you have a judge who's well-respected, a judge who, by the way, threw out a conviction of Senator Ted Stevens, a Republican, once he found that the prosecutors, he believed, engaged in misconduct. So this is not a judge who's any, weak willow. Oh, no. This is a strong, competent judge, well-respected by both sides. But here is the thing. When you say to someone like Mike Flynn, you sold out your country, Jesse, I don't think there's anything more damning than that. And this comes from a judge who, as you said, got the 302.
Can you explain, though, why did the judge say you sold out your country? What specifically was he pointing to?
Because, well, look, I think that one of the things that is frustrating is they should have kept the whole thing under seal, so not to give us a look at this document that has 3/4 of it redacted.
Yeah.
The judge has actually read the whole thing unredacted. We don't get to know, so it leaves. That's why we have to do. It's pulling these threads, and that's what we don't know.
But let me add to what Dana just said, which is I think, and this is key also in response to what Greg said about FALN and anybody else that's gotten pardoned, Mark Rich and the gang. Mike Flynn, not only was he advising a presidential candidate while also representing a foreign government, he was getting classified briefings from the U.S. government that's given to our top presidential contenders. And then once he becomes the national security advisor, you can't get much higher than that. This guy also had been head of the National Security Agency, but he's now the national security advisor, Jesse. And what is he doing? He's doing business for a foreign government without registering.
I don't want to minimize it, but everybody in the swamp does that, Juan. And he was just trying to track down some radical cleric in Pennsylvania hiding from the government in Turkey. It's not as shady as you're making it out to be.
Come on,
I'm not excusing it.
Jesse.
It was illegal by not registering, but let's not make it out to be like
this
a
is
huge scandal.
It is. It's shocking. You can't be the president. Ask Dana. She's sitting there. Dana's been in the White House. You can't be the president's advisor.
Dana would never even, make a grammatical error when she was at the White House.
But you know what this is about for the media? They can't find collusion. Right?
Yeah.
They can't. Right now, what is collusion? Russia maybe spent thousands of dollars on ads to influence the election. Have you seen those ads? No, seriously, have you seen them? They're hilarious. I can't even talk about them because they're too funny.
Oh, no,
but you know what? We spend more money on our wardrobe than Russia spent on the ads.
Yeah, but they spent a ton.
Did you see the ads, Juan? No, you've got to look at them.
But they did things like Black Lives Matter. They do things like the Second Amendment advocates, and they're just pushing people to break apart
the ads were about addiction to self-pleasure.
Yeah, but they all were about.
I tried to clean it up for you.
Helping Donald Trump
On that
win.
note, thank you, Greg.
That helped.